Odeshi, the Bulletproof Entrepreneur Podcast, episode 4, baby.
If you're ready to take your destiny into your own hands, you've come to the right place. This is Odeshi, the Bulletproof Entrepreneur, featuring interviews with the most exciting and amazing entrepreneurs across Africa. Here's your host, Chi Odogu.
Hey, welcome back. It's episode 4 of Odeshi, the Bulletproof Entrepreneur. I just want to thank you guys for sticking it through the past 3 episodes. We've had tremendous amount of support since we launched on August 17th. I mean, amazing amount of downloads coming from all across the globe. People sending emails, comments, questions. It's been really great. We just wanted to remind everyone to sign up for the book giveaway. We're giving away 2 books to launch the show. The Obstacle is Away, The Timeless Art of Turning Trials into Triumph by Ryan Holiday, and Choose Yourself by James Altucher. I have a few copies of both books that I'll be giving away maybe 3 weeks from now. So the best way for you to get yourself one copy or get the opportunity to get a copy is to leave your email on our website, odeshi.com, or leave a review on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, YouTube. So, with that said, let's take a quick minute to thank our sponsors and get on with the rest of the show. Our first sponsor is Sesewa.org. That's SESEWA.org. If you're looking for an intern to help you with your company, Sesewa.org is the best place to find one. Sesewa.org is a leading social enterprise that connects companies with interns across Nigeria. So, if you need an intern to help you out during the holidays, go to SESEWA.org for more details. Additionally, if you want to find a nice hotel across Africa, the best place to go and search for a pleasant place to get a good night's rest is jovago.com. That's JOVAGO.com. They have over 5,000 hotels on their platform in Nigeria and many other hotels spread across Africa. Go to jovago.com when you want to get a good night's rest. Hey everyone, good morning and welcome to Odeshi, the Bulletproof Entrepreneur Podcast. Today's guest is Adekunbi Adeoye. She's the founder and executive director of Sesewa Support Services, a social enterprise that makes it possible for young graduates to obtain vital on-the-job training via internships that ultimately lead to full-time employment. Adekunbi, could you please tell us a little bit about yourself and your background?
Okay, my name is Adekunbi Adeoye, like Chibuzo said, and our company Sesewa was founded to provide internship opportunities for young undergraduates as well as fresh graduates from all over Nigeria. And one of the things that brought us to start Sesewa is the growing rate of unemployment in the country, and the fact that most of the unemployment base is largely put on the fact that young people are unemployable, and the fact that what they teach them in school is quite different from what is being taught, what is being expected in the workplace. So our solution is to create a platform for these young people to develop themselves while they are in school, as well as when they finish school. So we find ourselves providing them with internship opportunities, work shadowing programs, volunteer placement, as well as also provide some training for employability training as well.
What is the current unemployment rate in Nigeria?
Okay, I know that recently there's been about 23 million graduates that the country provides for about every year.
Okay.
That's the recent statistics, and it's like one in ten graduates actually end up picking up a job at the end of the day. So despite the number of people who finish school from a daily basis, very, very few numbers are able to find jobs.
So that's roughly 90% of graduates are unemployed every year.
Let's say, yeah.
And why do you think the unemployment rate is so high?
Okay, first things first, I really do think that, the curriculum that is being provided, most of it is still, there are things in the curriculum that have been, put together to help the young undergraduates of so many years ago, maybe like say some 15 years ago. Technology is changing from a day-to-day basis. The future of work is changing and it's still evolving, and it's difficult to use the same old methods to solve the new problems. So that's definitely the big disconnect. And also, the companies do not have a particular input into what is being taught. So it's like there's going to be a pool for this corporate Nigeria or corporate bodies to pull students to come and work for them, but they don't have any direct involvement in the processes that go on in school. So what you will find is, on a regular basis, is that both parties are coming together to, so to speak, decide or make solutions as to what is expected of the young people that come out of school. So where there's such a big disconnect, it's difficult for young people to come out as great or, as prepared for the workplace. So we also place a lot of emphasis on the fact that education in the country is not as it should be. People just go to school, but they're not really educated. People are not, properly taught. So it's such a big. So as unemployment is growing, if we're not doing anything about the real education of the young people, not going to school now, I mean education, it definitely doesn't look like a good deal going forward.
So do you think that the government needs to change the current educational policies and act to equip the youth, or should the youth independently acquire the skills required to be successful in the market independently? Because it seems to me that the current system is essentially failing the students.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I think there needs to be a big look at what exactly the curriculum is. There needs to be a change. There needs to be an improvement of it. You find an undergraduate in computer science being taught Fortran. What exactly will he be able to apply in the world of work? If he's being taught Fortran and he's being taught principles that are, old and archaic and, lost gone. So I think definitely if we're looking at making a case for internships in the country where it is a part of school credit, where people are looking at, internships on the basis of this is important to what the schools, what an individual must go to. And we're also looking to say, okay, corporate bodies, you can't keep complaining about the fact that these young people are unemployable. The question is, what are you going to do about it? So two people need to come together, the public sector, the private sector, as well as the universities and colleges of education as well.
Oh, okay. That's very interesting to hear. Fortran in 2014, wow. So what got you interested in starting this company?
Okay, I was looking for an opportunity to develop myself. Staying in my 200 level, I'd run 2 or 3. I pioneered some businesses as an undergraduate, and I was looking for something more. I wanted a formal internship. I wanted to understand what working was going to be like. Mm-hmm. I didn't want to be a part of statistics, where I'm part of statistics of people who are unemployed or people who are really good but can't find a job. I wanted to develop myself, and I really didn't believe that I didn't find these opportunities as effortless as I thought I would have found. I went to organizations. I told them I wanted to come in for an internship. I didn't want to be paid, but they didn't even understand what I was saying.
Wow.
So some of them did, but were not so receptive. That's when people started asking you if you needed some financial support. It's quite alarming because young people around here are very dependent on their parents. It's changing now though, but that was the reality at the time. I later on found an internship which sort of proved my intention to work. I developed my Microsoft Office skills. I was able to talk to clients. I did a bit of networking. It was life-changing in itself. I came up from that internship telling myself every young person in Nigeria should have this opportunity to see what the world of work is like, And I realized that there was no organization that was standing as a middleman between employers as well as, the unemployed, graduates as well. So there was no company doing internships, focused on internships solely. So I knew it was an opportunity for me to create a blue ocean and create a business that was new as well as, that was essentially needed for corporate Nigeria as well as the educational system.
Okay. So you've mentioned a bunch of things here. So are you telling me that most of the universities in Nigeria don't have like a career services? Like I schooled in the US and almost every college has a career services where they know after your second semester, which will be at the beginning of summertime, they try and bring companies on campus to interview with people so that you can get a 3-month internship during the summertime. That system is not available in Nigeria?
I can tell you on a good ground. I can tell you what we have in Nigeria is the CWES program. What the CWES does is, with Nigeria, we have
Could you spell that out? What does that mean? CWES, that's the body that is in charge of industrial training.
Okay.
And
these are focused on people in engineering, the particular departments. Those that have 5-year programs, most of them have an opportunity to do IT.
Okay.
So there really is a structure for it, but I've never really found an opportunity or, being except the new private schools where people will come into the schools second semester and take you through. No, there's really no big meeting point where a lot of individuals know, except where there are departments within this universities that do it, but it's not something that is majorly for now. I know for University of Lagos, because I've been there to tell them about what we do. There is a center for placement, but this center for placement is for IT students. Where a lot of companies come. And then there's no meeting point. Who the students meet is not the employers. Who the students meet at this department, who in turn, get them to find placement as well. So the career services you're talking about, I'm very quite aware of it because I've done a lot of research and I understand that is the way that it should be, but that's not the way that it is. In fact, that's one of the mission of our organization is to be able to provide this meeting point for these two people. And that's a tall order.
And so do you run your company as a non-profit or for-profit?
We don't run it as for-profit. We run it under a social enterprise.
Social enterprise, okay.
Yes, we run it as a social enterprise. So it's registered for-profit. But we run our services as a social enterprise.
How does it work? How did you structure this?
Okay, we structured it in such a way that we have different levels of internships. We have paid internships. We have unpaid internships.
Okay.
We have recently introduced externships. We have volunteering. So we put these organizations, which are varying. We don't focus on any particular industry because we want to give a larger number of people an opportunity. So what we do is we focus on providing these people, depending on the category that they want an intern in. What we find out is sometimes we have to go to these companies to tell them that, okay, you need an intern. Even if they say, no, we don't think we need one, we try to tell them, okay, take a work shadowing intern. Somebody will just come in and understand their industry. Don't pay us for any service, just let the person come in. We find ourselves talking to these organizations about, all our programs and services. Some organizations come to meet us. Some of them are looking for, young people to work with them. Some of them are looking for social media managers. Some of them are looking for, people that they will eventually make their full-time staff. So sometimes they come to us, sometimes we go to them. It just depends on the situation.
Okay, so do students try and find these internships themselves? Because even in the US, it's some of the time, though you have career services, it's not a 100% guarantee that, you get a job through the career services. A lot of the time, you have to actually hustle and find internships yourself. I remember when I was in graduate school, I was in Nigeria for the summer, and I thought, oh, dude, I can't be in Nigeria for 3 months without an internship. So I actually had to hit the streets myself and talk to people and say, hey, where can I find an internship, or can I work with you guys? And I eventually found one. So do people take that initiative themselves to look for it out there, or it's kind of a formalized process that you have to go through?
No, I think what our business is doing is trying to make it formalized, because that's what we are telling the industries. We are saying, okay, we can help you find certain kind of talent.
Okay.
But we use advocacy a lot. Now, most of the students have a sincere desire to develop themselves.
Yes.
But they're not aware of how to go about it.
Okay.
So we find ourselves going to universities. I've, become a public speaker over the night, talking to young people about the importance of getting an internship. And we tell them, you don't need to come to us to get an internship. The message we are making a case for internships. We're saying, go into these places and just find an internship. So you find people who, take the extra initiative to work into the school. But I must say to you that it's a bit difficult for them to. Most of the other side of people, most of them have to talk to people who they know, people who their parents know and all that. So if you don't have this kind of connect, you fall on the other side of the ladder.
Okay.
So they have the opportunity to go, but it's an ongoing cost. Some of them don't even know that internships are important. So
so they don't feel internships are important.
They don't know. They don't even. Some people don't even know what to do.
Okay.
Like, for example, I'm a barrister. I'm a lawyer. Throughout my schooling in university, there's nothing that requires me to go get a job or to get an internship. It's only it's the students' bodies that come together and say, okay, we need to develop ourselves. Let's go out there and find an internship. So, and that's because of the kind of school that I went to. Some people's school structures don't even give them they don't understand. We go to schools and then we're defining an internship for them. We are defining what it means. We are defining what they will get out of it. We are defining how they can use it. We are defining what they can do with it. So that's another barrier.
Are they beginning to see the importance and the value of getting at least a couple internships under your belt before you graduate?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they are a lot, actually. I'm of the divide because I work with young people every day.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime I get into a meeting and then someone tells me that young people, they don't know what they're doing. I tell them, no, that's definitely not true. Because there's such a desire on their hearts to get the next boss and try to develop themselves. Because people are young. You think they don't want to work? Of course they want to work.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the timing we're giving them this opportunity that, sort of clashes. They're saying they should get a job right after they finish school, when it is almost very late, because they haven't developed themselves to that point.
Yes.
And they just go ahead and become a part of statistics. There's a time of their life where they are energized, they don't have anything to lose. And it's that time where you can get them to be, educated on this kind of platforms and prepare them. I started this organization as an undergraduate because I got an opportunity to see what an internship was like, and I did a bit of research. There are quite a number of thousands of Nigerians who are like me, who would have wanted to, start organizations based on the problem that they saw in society, So I think it's the timing that we have. There are quite lots and lots of young people whose desire and feel and energies can be channeled into the right thing, rather than, getting them into anti-productive activities.
Okay. So you started as an undergrad. So how did you go about signing up your first company that...
Okay, yeah. My first company was an HR firm.
Okay.
They had a problem with finding talent. They knew that they had actually started running a sort of structured for internships within their system. So it was a very welcome idea. I think getting the first internship from that organization was, so to speak, a bit easy, and it gave me an opportunity to understand that the problem I was willing to solve, that it was the people on the other side of the bend, which is corporate Nigeria, was willing to also get into that service as well. So I think they were just welcoming. They were welcoming. It wasn't such a bad idea.
Okay. And were these paid internships or unpaid internships?
It was a paid internship.
Okay.
But we didn't make a charge for it because I was just checking out how the structure was. It was a paid internship for this individual.
Started it as an undergrad. You got this first company. How did you expand and grow this into a full-time? What year did you start this? Was it in your final year? And how did you grow the company?
Okay. The company was registered actually in my 300 level.
Okay.
My 300, 400 level. I started doing a bit of business model around it, creating how it will run since then. So I'd say I was in my final year when we unveiled the business to the community. That's Obasanjola University at the time. And it has grown from 2009 till date. I went on to law school in 2010. I couldn't do so much with the company at the time. Then I went on to serve. I worked with MTN for about a year. I understood a bit about their structuring process, which was highly fantastic with running my own business. And I saw the need to go back to running business full time. So since 2011, thereabouts, I think 2012, I started running it on a full-time basis. And it has been quite interesting. There's quite a number of challenges on the journey. There's been some, good, parts of it as well. So I think I must say it's been an interesting journey.
Okay, so what were some of the major challenges or obstacles that you faced?
Okay, I know that I'm building a kit for internships. It requires me to consistently be talking to both parties. That is not the kind of service that you provide. Both parties, you're talking to them that they need the service. They know they need it. They think they know they need it, but until you talk to them, then they realize that they need it. So That's been such a big, an uphill task, trying to get companies on standby and trying to, get the students engineered and prepared for the workplace. So one of the challenges we faced in doing these two things was that some of the interns we were providing, we met young people when we sent them to organizations. Some of them got into work wearing bangle earrings, very, very, very lackluster. They didn't understand what it was for them, what they even had to wear. Some of them didn't have the proper work ethic. And then we realized, okay, that's a problem again. So then we went back to the drawing board, and then we started to do training school. Then we started building a curriculum that sort of provides them with training while they are in internship. So we run an internship training school right now where we guide people, tell them the basic work etiquette, what they can do with the opportunities they get, how to, what, problem-solving skills, and sort of whittling down our bad risk.
Okay.
So that's the one thing that we did as well.
Okay.
So another challenge we have, and is definitely getting more corporate bodies to get on board what we're trying to do.
What's so frustrating about getting more companies to adopt this internship program? Because it seems like it's a useful idea. What's frustrating in the process?
Well, it is frustrating because there's a some of them don't some of them aren't ready for how we are coming into the organization. We have to do so much more in terms of organization is 2 years. It's barely 2 years running as a full time. So you have to play the politics of getting into the system, trying to make people understand that this is what you're trying to do. They're saying we understand. So it's sort of like a long group you have to cross sometimes.
Oh, so you
So
have
that's one of the challenges, but it's part of our job. I guess we just have to do it.
Okay, so which companies are fast to adopt the internship program? Is it newer companies or older, more established companies?
Oh, and definitely not the older, more established companies. They have to be small businesses and medium-sized businesses.
Okay.
The small businesses, the decision makers are, we don't have to go through so much, so along the process. The decision makers are easier to attend to, meet with us. That's one. Also, the small businesses need the internships because they are at the bottom of the ladder when it comes to finding the best talent. And with internships, they can replace that system because we can find the best set of talent for them at the cost that they can afford for a period of, say, 6 months to a year. Because with the Nigerian students, there's a lot of transition. People say they're going to go to serve. People finish school in 2009, and they don't go to serve until 2010 sometimes. So there is a lot of years, months wasting. It's either the school goes on strike for a period, and these small organizations have projects they want to run. It's easier for them to call us and say, please, we need 3 interns who are very smart and, who can deliver on this project. And it's easier for them to make those decisions. Unlike the bigger organizations who think that they have enough money to hire these individuals. Do you understand what I mean?
Yes.
So I think those are the dynamics.
Thank you, Kumbi. Now let's take a quick minute to thank our sponsors before we get on with the rest of your fascinating story and journey.
Are you worried about your future? Does the job market seem daunting and bleak? Well, if you're in between semesters or just recently graduated, there's a secret weapon you can use to stay ahead of the pack and start your career. It's called Sesewa.org. Sesewa.org is Nigeria's #1 career facilitator, connecting students and graduates with highly valued internship opportunities in various careers. They will help you prepare for the future by taking you from the classroom to the boardroom and beyond. Go to Sesewa.org today. That's SCSEWA.org to find out what the future holds for you. Now close your eyes and repeat after me. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. But guess what, guys? You can still find a home away from home if you go to jovega.com. Jovega.com is a leading hotel booking platform with over 5,000 hotels across Nigeria. So, whether you're visiting friends or attending a special event, you can be rest assured knowing that you'll find a nice place to get a good night's rest. Go to jovega.com. That's JOVAGO.com for more details.
So what were some of the early successes?
Okay. We've been able to, I think in the last year, we trained about, our training schools are very, 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 they're very, very rigorous. And we're able to train about 106 students in the past year.
In the past year.
And then they sort of like, yes, they gave us an understanding of what the business is going to do, and the possibilities for what they're doing. Most of them have also gone into these organizations to become full-time employees.
And why is it so successful?
I think most of the people who use the services, one, they don't know until we find them an intern. They just want an intern for, say, a period of 6 months. I'm also an employer as well. I have interns that I have to sign a document that says they won't go because I'm a small business, and I know that if a big organization picks these people, they will pay for their services more than myself. And then we find organizations like myself looking for ways to, find the people to become part of the organization just so that they won't leave. And these are fresh graduates. And most of these organizations don't even know what they're in for until they find this young person who works the whole period and who they are ready. At the end of the day, they say, we can't let this person go. Can this person just work with us on a full-time basis? So we have those people. Now for the undergraduates, we have them say, okay, this one has to go back to school. So they go back to school, and then they are much more ready for the workplace. So we know that the solution works. We may not be in the front of every Nigerian company, but we're building our strides in such a way that we know that the solution works.
It's amazing to hear that this program works so well, and a lot more companies are not taking advantage of this. Is it because that they don't know, or they're still skeptical?
No. I really think some of them don't know.
Okay.
We're like most of this year, we've started running training programs every month for the other desired people that we can't send them to an employer. It's just going to be bad business. We can't send them to an employer. They don't look good. Their interviews are bad. Their CVs are terrible. They don't look good. But we know that they have the inner attitude and character to be a good employee or to, even run their businesses. So we recently started doing training schools to, so to speak, cater for these people. But I think most of the things that are happening is we as a company, we're not everywhere preaching this message because there is a tendency that quite a number of people want to use our services. But our training programs are very rigorous that it cannot afford us to churn out 2,000 on a yearly basis. So we are still doing some inner workings in terms of using technology to be able to scale up our training centers and get more people for the job place.
Okay, so what type of technologies are you talking about?
We're doing training schools. We want our training schools. We're putting them online.
Okay.
So that people can, get the same service, and there'll be a lot more people who can get the services, so that we can then send those people out to this company. Okay. And then we also do a bit of head-hunting, the best way of. So is that quality that takes time to build, and it takes a lot of hard work. So if we're in everybody's face, it may also be a lot of work to do in terms of a lot of we have to be prepared for those expectations.
Okay. And you just mentioned
we're looking at future alternatives.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
I think we're looking at using alternative means.
Okay. You just mentioned online training and online courses. So what type of courses are you suggesting or thinking about? Because I know there are several online universities in Nigeria. Take, for example, Benny American University. So what type of courses are you planning to get or register online for the candidates that come through your program?
Okay. The school already is engineered to teach them all that. We take them through what the school does not prepare them for. For example, we find out we are training them on negotiation skills. Some of them get into the world of work. They need the skills. We take them to citizenship. What exactly does society require you to do? What change can you make in the world? Nobody teaches them that in school. Okay. We take them to how to find a job. We take them to emotional intelligence. We take them to entrepreneurship. We take them to leadership. We take them to quite a number of things that the school doesn't prepare them for. Conflict resolution, conflict management. These are things that, they're, so to speak, our training schools are an added advantage to what they should originally have known, such that the internships give flesh to what it is that they've learned. So that's why our training school and our internships sort of go hand in hand.
Okay. So basically it's almost primarily soft skills, a lot of soft skills.
A lot of what?
Soft skills.
Yes, a lot of soft skills, yeah.
Okay. And you mentioned training in entrepreneurship. So this is an entrepreneurial show interviewing entrepreneurs across Africa about how they start their business, how they scale and grow and develop. Your training in entrepreneurship, for example, how many of your prior graduates have set up companies for themselves? Do you have those statistics?
No, I don't think we do. I think most of the people that have attended, this class was just done last year. Most of our
it's a new class.
Fresh graduates, yes, no. The curriculum has been built since as long as 2 years ago, but our classes, internship classes it has been done 2 times, so we can't say that we have a particular statistics of somebody who has gone ahead to build a business now. We don't have that statistics.
Okay, you don't have the statistics yet. Okay. Okay, that's good. 100%, almost 100% soft skills, and that's leading to a lot of successes on the job. And that's really impressive. That's very impressive. So let's switch gears a little bit and talk about you personally. So, which entrepreneurs do you admire the most? So who are the people that, got you interested in starting and running your own business?
Yeah. Well. I would say that I made my first sale at the age of 9. Business is just been. I started my first business maybe at the age of 9 years old.
Okay, you started your first business at the age of 9.
Yes.
And what business was
I think,
that?
what?
What business was that?
I sold greeting cards.
Greeting. You sold greeting cards.
Yeah.
Okay.
In school at the time. Yeah. And I'd say that, quite a number of entrepreneurs is, they've, so to speak, most of our internship businesses, we still have, okay, we're not the only ones anymore in Nigeria, but I think we can say we're the first internship business in Nigeria.
Okay.
So I say that, there's no internship business that, so to speak, actually model the organization after.
Okay. But
so they're just being general entrepreneurs that have met and then, so to speak, gave us the leaf.
Okay. But in general, who are the entrepreneurs that you admire the most and why? Okay,
I like the work. I like Dangote definitely.
Okay.
Because of the business. It's every home, is a household name. You must use one of its products as a matter of, importance. And how those businesses can get to the very grassroots places. That definitely, is something very distinct. No matter irrespective of the cadre of income that you receive, there are products that can attend to that sector of people. So I definitely like his business ideals as well as his methodology of business.
Okay.
I like the fact that I like Insight Group.
What group?
It runs so many businesses. Insight. Yes.
Okay. Who founded that company? Yeah. I'm not familiar with that one.
And there are a group of people that you're not familiar with them. Okay. They're actually into advertising.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's quite a number of advertising, agencies around what it is that they do, and it's sort of like building different, models from the very, very scratch, and allowing them to now sort of run on their own. I think I like that idea. It definitely is something phenomenal. So I really do admire them as well.
Okay. So this greeting card company you started when you were 9 years old, do you remember what your revenues and profits were? Or is
yes,
that too far back?
No, it's not. I schooled in the East. I schooled in Umuahia, and I lived in Lagos.
Okay.
So there were some greeting cards that looked a lot nicer than the ones that were sold on that side of the country. So in this part in Lagos, I got them for say 300 naira for a pack of 12, and I sold them for 50 naira each, which gave me 600 naira. So I made 100% profit from the business. So I kept on selling these cards for a bit of a while every time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I know in Nigeria it's kind of different from the US and the West, because a lot of entrepreneurs, if you listen to entrepreneurial shows, especially entrepreneurs in America, they'll tell you, their first business was, lemonade stand or something like that. Whereas in Nigeria, it's probably not the same. And if you're 9 years old, does that mean you were in boarding school at the time?
Yeah, I was in boarding school.
Okay. So you were doing a little bit of geographic arbitrage. Buy something from one state and then sell it where it was lacking in another state. Okay. Did you continue this entrepreneurial streak through your high school and college? Or did it fizzle out up until when you started your company?
No. I went up to I think my first job was about when I was 14, 15 years old. I went in to start a business in school, in university. In my undergraduate role, I sold. Anybody who knew me knew I was always selling something. I could sell anything. I tried anything he was concerned. I sold clothes, I sold shoes, I sold jewelry, I sold cakes. My first meeting with an outside company was I sold cakes for a company in Lagos. In school at the time, in university at the time, people just relied on local made cakes. So I went to Lagos to bring in cakes from a brand that everybody knew, and brought the cakes to school and sold on behalf of. And it was butter icing as well, so people were very interested in it. So I think that was my first taste of doing business with an organization. And I think I was maybe 18 at the time, or 17, I cannot remember. So I've always been entrepreneurial. I really have been.
Looking back, from where you are now, let's say starting your company in the early days, what advice would you give to yourself based on your experiences, the experiences you've learned today, if you were to start all over again?
I'll get a mentor.
Get a mentor?
Yeah.
And why is that important?
It is because you have the opportunity to rely on somebody's years of experience over a class of books. You're having a discussion with somebody, and they're telling you mistakes that that have been deep into their lives, mistakes that may have cost them some millions of dollars or millions of naira. And you have the privilege to get this information over cocktail or over lunch. It's a big deal. I mean, that's what mentoring does for you. It stops you, in a particular life and direction. So definitely don't take that for granted. Also, it has to be getting a board.
Getting a board?
Whether it's a board, yes, for your company, whether it's a board of advisors or, getting a working board. And, a group of people who you are accountable to. You don't just walk the path and just, think you can, you can just keep going. You need a group of people. You need some form of structure that allows people to be able to check upon you and that people that you're accountable to. I think these two things are very essential.
So what's the one piece of advice you would give to recent college graduates that are thinking of starting their own businesses or companies?
Okay, for people who want to start out a business, I must say that, you must be prepared for the bumpy ride. Be prepared for the bumpy ride. However, there's a lot of fulfillment and a lot of shining light on the other side. You must be prepared for the bumpy ride, but know that there's the other side of it. There's the part of it that is beautiful and very rewarding. So if a young person, if I meet a young person today, after giving him that information, I tell him to go for it. And there are no perfect conditions. There's no waiting for it. Do it now. Do it today. Do it already. Do what you have to do today. Get the right guidance if you can find, and make sure that you keep on running. Just to do today. There are no perfect conditions. If you wait for the right time, if you wait for everything to be good, your ideas will just go obsolete. So do what you have to do today. Learn. There's no better reward. So there's no better learning path than doing. Just start today.
Could you tell us some of the resources you used that helped you on your entrepreneurial journey?
Yeah, I use SME Toolkit. I use Business in a Box. SME Toolkit.
Okay, and what's that?
SME Toolkit is a kit from, I think it's put together by Lagos Business School. It's a toolkit that, businesses, small businesses can grab to understand what kind, some structures. Like, for example, you want to do a bit of documentation. It's a bit like a Business in a Box. It's a software.
Okay. It's a software.
It gives you thousands and thousands of letters. If you wanted to prepare a letter to a company, there are sort of like templates that can guide you. If you want to do contracts and you don't have a basic understanding of where to start, there are templates that you can use as well. So those two things are software. I also read some books. eMyth is a fantastic tool.
Which book? eMyth?
eMyth, yes. eMyth. I also like Good to Great.
Good to Great.
And Blue Ocean Strategy.
We've reached the end of our show. Is there any final words of advice you'd like to give our listeners?
Yeah, I think I've said everything. There's so much you can say when it comes to business, especially starting out.
Yes.
In an industry that never existed. It's a lot of work. I think you need an inner passion. You need some sort of God guidance on the journey. And you must be ready to reach to your inner self and know that when you're beginning as an entrepreneur, you're meeting yourself for the first time when you start a business. It's like you're getting married to yourself. You begin to see your weaknesses. You begin to see your strengths. Some of them you would applaud. Some of them you would totally, hate. But through it all, you're able to embrace who you are. You're able to embrace, what you're good at doing. And it's an ongoing journey. So my final words are, as you're starting out on the journey, know that you need all of this. You need the passion. You need your God-given, encouragement. And as much as you can, you understand that there's a timing to life. There's a beginning time and there's an end to it. So don't also stress yourself so much that you don't get enough rest, or you don't get to have your time with your family and taking you out of these days. Always remember that, life is in itself there's a time to it, okay? So get enough rest that you can get and enjoy the beautiful moments in life. They are also equally very, very true.
Well, Adekunbi, we just want to thank you for coming to share your story with us. It's been very inspiring and insightful. Wish you all the best in your future endeavors, and we look forward to hearing more about your company in the future, and maybe even having one or two of the students that have passed through your programs here, just to come and tell us what the program has meant to them, what they've learned, and how they've used the skills they've gained from your training programs and your organization to make themselves successful.
I look forward to that again. Thank you so much for your time.
No problem. And there you have it, folks. One bulletproof entrepreneur that's making a difference in the life of students in Africa, in Nigeria in particular, by providing an avenue for them to get internships and on-the-job training as well as soft-skill training so that they can be better professionals both in the workplace as well as outside the workplace. So please don't forget to leave a review on iTunes, on Stitcher, SoundCloud, and YouTube. I am still taking entries for the giveaway for the book, The Obstacle is the Way, The Timeless Art of Turning Trials into Triumphs by Ryan Holiday. And the best way for you to enter is leave a review and leave your comments. Good, bad, what you liked, what you didn't like. Anything that will help us make the show a better show so that you too can learn and grow and develop and, go start something awesome somewhere in Africa. And I'd love to talk to you about it. So till next time, guys, take care, have a nice day, and you know what? Get bulletproof.
Don't let another minute go by without taking action to change your life. Visit Odeshi.com right now for more incredible resources, and we'll see you next time on Odeshi, the Bulletproof Entrepreneur.